The bathroom stall door rattled as Madison Harper's hand shook uncontrollably. Her phone screen glowed with an image that made her stomach churn. It was her face, her body, but not her. Not really. The video was so real, so perfectly crafted, that even she had to look twice. Tears streamed down her cheeks as the automated voice message played again through her earbuds. "You have 72 hours, or this goes viral. Check your email for instructions." 6 months ago, Madison stood on the stage at MIT, her computer science degree fresh in her hand. A job offer from Google worth $200,000 waiting in her inbox. She could have taken it. Should have taken it, her parents said, but something pulled her toward teaching. "I want to make a difference," she had told them. Now, hunched over a toilet in Lincoln High School, she wondered if she had made the biggest mistake of her life. The email notification popped up. Her fingers trembled as she opened it. $10,000. That was the price for her dignity, her career, her future. The message was clinical, almost professional. Transfer funds to the following cryptocurrency wallet within 72 hours. Additionally, adjust the following students' grades to A+ by end of term. A list of names followed. At the top, Tyler Morrison. Tyler Morrison. Of course, the principal's son, who thought his last name was a free pass to everything. The same student who had failed her advanced mathematics class just last week. The same one who had smiled at her with those cold blue eyes and said, "This won't stand, Ms. Harper." Madison's mind raced. The video was too real. No parent would believe it was fake. No school board would take the chance, even if she proved it was artificial. The damage would be done. The internet never forgets. She pressed her back against the cold metal of the stall, trying to steady her breathing. Her career was over before it had even started. In the tech lab, 3 floors up, Tyler Morrison leaned back in his ergonomic gaming chair, his fingers dancing across 3 keyboards simultaneously. The glow from 6 monitors cast shadows across his angular face as he zoomed in on the latest render. "Phase 1 complete," he murmured, his voice carrying a satisfaction that didn't belong on an 18-year-old. Derek Chen shifted nervously beside him, his own setup humming with the sound of graphics cards working overtime. "Bro, this is too far. She's just a teacher." Tyler's eyes never left the screen. "She failed me. Me. Nobody fails a Morrison at Lincoln High." He pulled up another window, showing a wall of photographs. Madison Harper teaching. Madison Harper walking to her car. Madison Harper at the coffee shop grading papers. Hundreds of angles. Thousands of frames. Besides, she made it easy. Who posts that much on social media? The irony wasn't lost on Madison as she finally emerged from the bathroom, her face freshly washed, but eyes still red. Her first day of teaching had been everything she'd dreamed of. Students engaged, asking questions, even staying after class to discuss advanced concepts. She hadn't noticed the phones recording her every move, hadn't thought twice about the student who asked for a selfie for my mom who loves math teachers, hadn't questioned why so many kids suddenly needed help during office hours, always with their laptops open, cameras perfectly positioned. She made her way to her classroom, each step feeling heavier than the last. The hallway buzzed with typical high school energy, but today, it felt different. Every laugh seemed directed at her. Every whispered conversation felt like they knew. They couldn't know. Not yet. She had 72 hours. Her computer screen blinked to life as she settled at her desk. First period didn't start for another 20 minutes, but she needed answers. Her fingers flew across the keyboard, skills from MIT flooding back. She pulled up her social media profiles, seeing them now through different eyes. There she was at graduation, at her sister's wedding, on vacation in Hawaii, teaching her first class. Each photo a piece of data, a fragment that could be harvested, analyzed, reconstructed. The realization hit her like a physical blow. Someone had scraped her entire digital footprint. Every photo, every video, every angle of her face, ever posted online. She navigated to TikTok, searching for Lincoln High School tags. Her stomach dropped. There were dozens of videos of her teaching. Students had been live streaming her lessons without her knowledge. Ms. Harper explains calculus like a boss, read one caption. 30,000 views. The comments were mostly positive, but that wasn't the point. Each video was another data point for whoever was doing this. Wait, whoever she knew exactly who. The faculty shared drive icon caught her eye. She clicked it. Navigating to the personnel folder, her breath caught. The last access was 3 weeks ago. At 2:47 a.m., someone had downloaded the entire folder. High-resolution ID photos of every teacher, including hers. Tyler Morrison walked into her second period class with the confidence of someone who had already won. He slid into his seat in the back row, his smile never quite reaching those cold eyes. Madison forced herself to continue the lesson on geometric proofs, her voice steady despite the storm inside. "Mr. Morrison," she said as the bell rang, "could you stay after for a moment?" The other students filed out, leaving them alone. Tyler leaned against a desk, arms crossed. "About my grade," Madison chose her words carefully. "I wanted to discuss your recent test. Perhaps we could find a way to improve your performance." His smile widened. "Oh, I think my grade will improve soon, Ms. Harper. Very soon." The threat hung in the air between them. Madison's hands clenched at her sides. "Tyler, if there's something you want to tell me—" He pulled out his phone, swiping through it casually. "You know, technology is amazing these days. You can make anyone do anything." He turned the screen toward her for just a moment. Her blood ran cold. It wasn't just her. The screen showed thumbnail after thumbnail of other deepfake videos. Other teachers. Other students. "You're not special, Ms. Harper. You're just the latest." After he left, Madison sank into her chair. This was bigger than just her. This was an operation. She thought about going to the principal, but Principal Morrison's son was untouchable. Everyone knew it. The way teachers whispered about the Morrisons in the break room, the way previous faculty had left suddenly, always with vague explanations. 48 hours left. A new email arrived. Another video. This one worse than the first. The face mapping was flawless. Even she could barely tell it was fake. The only sign was a slight flickering in the left eye. Something about the way the light reflected that wasn't quite right. But who would notice that? Who would care? She opened Rate My Teacher on her phone. Her profile, which had been glowing just yesterday, was now flooded with new reviews. Inappropriate behavior with students. Shouldn't be around kids. Saw some disturbing things about her online. All posted within the last hour. All from accounts created today. Her email dinged again. Parents. 3 emails asking about concerning rumors. Her department head wanting to schedule a meeting. The walls were closing in. Madison stared at her laptop screen. The old ThinkPad from her MIT days sat in her bag, covered in stickers from hackathons and coding competitions. She hadn't touched it since starting teaching. Her fingers traced the faded DEFCON 26 sticker. She had won third place in the Capture the Flag competition that year. More importantly, she had written her thesis on GAN detection, specifically focusing on identifying artificially generated faces in videos. The laptop hummed to life, the familiar Linux boot screen a comfort in the chaos. She pulled up her old thesis files, the code still clean, and commented, frame by frame. She began analyzing the video of herself. The neural network she had trained 3 years ago started processing, looking for telltale signs of artificial generation. There, line 7432 of the output. A pattern in the pixel arrangement that repeated every 47 frames. It was subtle, almost invisible to the human eye. But the math didn't lie. Every deepfake created by the same software would have this fingerprint. It was like a digital signature, unique to the specific implementation of the algorithm. Her teacher access gave her privileges most people didn't have. She could see attendance records, grade histories, behavioral reports. She started with Tyler's known associates, looking for patterns. One name stood out: Emma Rodriguez. Straight A student until 6 months ago. Then her attendance dropped to barely passing. Behavioral notes mentioned emotional distress and social withdrawal. Madison found Emma in the library during lunch, hunched over in a corner carrel. The girl looked up with hollow eyes as Madison approached. "Emma, I'm Ms. Harper. I wanted to check if you're okay." Emma's eyes darted around the library. "I'm fine." Madison sat down across from her, keeping her voice low. "Emma, I know something happened, and I think I know who's responsible." The girl's facade cracked. Tears started flowing as words tumbled out. "He made dozens. Said nobody would believe me because I sent one photo to my boyfriend. Just one. Tyler got it somehow, and then he made so many. Different ones. Worse ones. Said he'd release them if I told anyone." Madison's hands clenched. "You're not alone. He's doing it to me, too." Emma's eyes widened. But you're a teacher." "That doesn't matter to people like Tyler." Madison pulled out her phone, showing Emma the analysis she'd run. "But I have something he doesn't expect. I know how to fight back." Emma leaned forward. "There are others. Sarah from Drama Club, Jade from the volleyball team, even some male students. He sells them." "Sells them?" Emma nodded. "He runs a whole business. Other schools pay him to make videos of their enemies, rival athletes, ex-girlfriends, whoever. Derek Chen helps him. They use the computer lab's servers and Derek's crypto mining setup for the processing power." Madison felt the pieces clicking into place. This wasn't just about her failing grade. This was about power, money, and control. Tyler Morrison was running a deepfake empire from inside Lincoln High School, back in her apartment that evening. Madison transformed her living room into a command center. 3 monitors borrowed from the school, her MIT laptop, and enough caffeine to kill a horse. She placed a call to the one person who might understand. "Nathan, it's Madison Harper." Dr. Nathan Cross's voice crackled through the encrypted connection. "Madison, it's been what? A year. How's teaching? I need your help. Nathan, remember our research on GAN detection?" "Of course. Best undergraduate thesis I ever supervised. What's wrong?" Madison explained everything. The deepfakes, Tyler, the 72-hour deadline now down to 36. Nathan listened without interrupting. occasionally typing in the background. "Send me the files," he said finally. "And Madison, be careful. If this kid is as connected as you say, he won't go down easily." She began her real investigation, using techniques she'd learned but never thought she'd need again. She started tracing blockchain payments. Cryptocurrency wasn't as anonymous as people thought, if you knew where to look. Tyler was smart, but he was also 18 and arrogant. He would have made mistakes. The first breadcrumb appeared in a deepfake forum on the dark web. Someone advertising custom reality adjustments with samples that matched the same pixel fingerprint. The payment wallet had hundreds of transactions, small amounts flowing in from desperate victims, larger sums from what looked like organized buyers. Madison created a fake account, posing as a private school parent wanting to destroy a rival student. The response came within minutes. Package pricing available. Send target photos and requirements. Professional work guaranteed. She recorded everything, screenshots meticulously organized. The conversation moved to Discord, where she found herself in Tyler's inner circle. He was bragging to potential clients, sharing success stories. "Got this teacher begging already," he typed. "Should see her face when she realized what I could do." Derek's username popped up. "Rendering farm at 90% capacity. Need to scale back or my dad will notice the power bill." Tyler responded with a laughing emoji. "Dad thinks you're mining Bitcoin. Keep those GPUs hot. We've got 3 more orders from Roosevelt High." Madison's blood boiled as she documented everything. These weren't just bullies. They were running a criminal enterprise, destroying lives for profit and laughs. But she needed more. The Discord servers were encrypted, the usernames anonymized. She needed them to make a mistake in the real world. She crafted the perfect email from a fake account. "My daughter attends Lincoln High. I've heard disturbing rumors about videos being created of students. If this continues, I will be forced to pursue legal action against the school and all parties involved." She sent it to the principal's public email, knowing Tyler monitored his father's inbox. The reaction was immediate. Tyler's Discord status went from away to active in seconds. "Code red," he typed. "Someone's threatening lawyers, moving timeline up. Harper gets 24 hours, not 72. Madison smiled grimly. Panic made people sloppy. She had installed monitoring software on all the school computers at the beginning of the year. Perfectly legal under the technology use policy every student signed. It was meant to catch cheating and inappropriate browsing. She had never imagined using it for this. The software pinged. Someone was uploading large video files from the computer lab. IP address logged. User account, Tyler Morrison. He was using his school credentials. Amateur mistake. Her phone buzzed. Another email. This time from Tyler directly. 24 hours, Ms. Harper. Price just went up to $15,000. Don't make this harder than it needs to be. Madison looked at the evidence spread across her screens. Financial records, chat logs, victim testimonies, technical proof. It was substantial. But was it enough? Tyler's father ran the school. The Morrison family had been part of Lincoln High for generations. She needed to understand what she was really up against. School records were digitized going back 20 years. Madison searched for patterns, looking for other teachers who had left suddenly. The list was longer than she expected. Mr. Peterson, calculus teacher, resigned mid-semester 5 years ago. Mrs. Chang, AP chemistry, took early retirement at 43. Coach Williams, transferred to another district after 20 years. She cross-referenced their departures with the Morrison children. Tyler's older brother, Chase, had been a student when Peterson left. The timing lined up perfectly. This wasn't just Tyler. This was a family tradition. The principal had been covering for his sons for years. Madison's investigation revealed the full scope. Teachers who challenged the Morrison boys found themselves facing scandals. Sometimes it was planted evidence of inappropriate behavior. Other times, it was financial impropriety. But this generation had gone digital, and Tyler had turned it into a business. Her phone rang. Emma Rodriguez. Ms. Harper. 3 more victims want to talk. They saw me with you, and they're ready to come forward. Tell them to document everything. Save every message, every threat. We're building a case. Against Tyler Morrison. His dad runs this place. Madison stared at the evidence on her screens. His dad is part of the problem. But there are authorities higher than Principal Morrison. 20 hours left. Madison knew she had enough to go to the police. Maybe even the FBI. Cyber Crimes Division would be interested in an interstate deepfake ring. But she needed one more piece. She needed Tyler to admit it. On record. With witnesses. The plan formed in her mind. It was dangerous. Possibly career-ending if it went wrong. But she thought of Emma's hollow eyes, of the other victims afraid to come forward, of all the future students Tyler would torment if he wasn't stopped. She composed one final email. I'll pay. Just tell me where and how. Please don't release the video. I'll do whatever you want. Tyler's response was almost instant. Smart choice. Tomorrow night, 8 p.m., school tech lab. Come alone. Bring $5,000 cash as down payment. We'll discuss the rest in person. Madison smiled for the first time in 48 hours. He wanted to meet in person. He wanted to gloat. Pride goeth before the fall. And Tyler Morrison was about to learn that lesson the hard way. She made 3 phone calls. The first to Nathan at MIT, after confirming he had backed up all her evidence. The second to a lawyer friend from college who specialized in cybercrime. The third to Emma Rodriguez. Tomorrow night, she said. It ends tomorrow night. What are you going to do? Madison looked at her reflection in the darkened window. She wasn't the naive first-year teacher who had walked into Lincoln High 6 months ago. She was a survivor, a fighter, and someone who had spent 4 years at MIT learning that every system could be hacked, including the social ones that protected bullies like Tyler Morrison. I'm going to teach him a lesson he'll never forget. The clock on her laptop showed 18 hours remaining. Tyler thought he had her cornered, desperate, beaten. He was about to learn why you should never underestimate a teacher, especially one who kept her hacker skills sharp. Tomorrow night, in the tech lab where he ran his digital empire. Tyler Morrison would face something he'd never encountered before. Someone who fought back with more than tears and pleas. Someone who understood his tools better than he did. Someone who had spent 48 hours preparing the perfect trap. Madison Harper was done being a victim. The real lesson was about to begin. The tech lab hummed with the sound of cooling fans and hard drives spinning in the darkness. Madison Harper stood outside the door, her hand steady despite the adrenaline coursing through her veins. 8 p.m. exactly. In her messenger bag, $5,000 in marked bills courtesy of the FBI's Cyber Crimes Division. Agent Sarah Coleman had been very interested in Madison's evidence, especially when she learned about the interstate nature of Tyler's operation. Remember, Coleman's voice crackled through the tiny earpiece hidden beneath Madison's hair. We need him to explicitly state what he's doing. Get him talking. The more he brags, the stronger our case. Madison pushed open the door. Tyler Morrison sat like a king in his digital domain, surrounded by glowing monitors. Derek Chen lurked in the shadows by the server racks, nervous energy radiating from every movement. "Ms. Harper," Tyler said, spinning in his chair to face her. "Right on time. I appreciate punctuality." The lab looked different at night. During the day, it was just another classroom, filled with students learning Python and JavaScript. Now it felt like a predator's den, blue light casting everything in harsh shadows. "I brought the money," Madison said, keeping her voice small, defeated. It wasn't hard to fake the fear. Despite everything, Tyler Morrison was still dangerous. "Good, but first, let's discuss your new grading policy." Tyler pulled up a spreadsheet on the nearest monitor. "These students all need A's, not A-minuses, A's." Madison looked at the list. 12 names, all wealthy families, all kids who had no business passing advanced mathematics. "Tyler, I can't." Tyler stood up, walking closer. At 18, he already had his father's imposing height. "Let me show you what can't looks like." He clicked to another screen. The deepfake video filled the monitor. But this time it wasn't alone. There were dozens of windows, each showing a different social media platform: Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, even academic forums, all queued up, ready to post with a single click. "One button," Tyler said. "That's all it takes. Your parents will see it, your colleagues, your future students. Every job interview for the rest of your life will start with someone Googling you and finding this." Derek shifted uncomfortably. "Tyler, maybe we should—" "Shut up, Derek." Tyler didn't even look at his partner. "Ms. Harper needs to understand her position. You see, teacher, your little MIT degree doesn't mean anything here. This is my school, my domain." Madison let her shoulders slump. "How did you even do this? The videos are so real." Tyler's ego took the bait. He practically glowed with pride. "You want to know, fine. Consider it your last lesson." He pulled up another interface, code scrolling past. It started simple. Emma Rodriguez sent one photo to her boyfriend. Idiot posted it in our Discord server to brag. That gave me an idea. He navigated through folders, each labeled with a victim's name. Madison's stomach churned seeing how organized it was. Like a business. Because it was a business. Facial recognition software scraped social media for more angles. Your generation posts everything, so that was easy. But you, Tyler laughed. You were a gift. Those teaching TikToks gave me hundreds of hours of footage. Different lighting, angles, expressions. The algorithm could map every micro-expression. But the processing power needed, Madison prompted. Derek finally spoke up. That's where I came in. My dad thinks I'm mining Bitcoin with our home setup. 40 grand in graphics cards, all running 24/7. We can render a believable video in 3 hours. Tyler shot him a warning look, but continued. The beautiful part is the business model. Started with just blackmail at school. But then other schools heard about it. Private school kids with daddy's credit card, paying 5 grand to destroy a rival. College applications are competitive, you know. Madison forced herself to appear fascinated rather than disgusted. How many? Lost count after 200. We've got clients in 7 states now. Even some international orders. Tyler pulled up a Bitcoin wallet. The balance made Madison's eyes widen. $250,000 in 6 months. Not bad for a side hustle. The other victims? Cost of doing business. Emma was the prototype. Had to test the market somehow. Tyler's casual cruelty was chilling. The beauty is, even if they report it, Who believes them? Deepfakes aren't illegal in most states. Blackmail is, sure. But prove it was us. VPNs, crypto, encrypted everything. Madison glanced around the room, mental mapping every camera she could see. Tyler had installed his own security system, separate from the school's. He was recording everything, probably for his own protection. Perfect. "Your father knows," she said. It wasn't a question. Tyler's smile widened. "Of course he knows. Where do you think I learned my brother Chase pioneered the analog version? Planted drugs in a teacher's desk? Got them fired. But that was messy. This," he gestured at the screens, "this is evolution. Every teacher who challenged a Morrison got destroyed," Madison said quietly. "The family legacy. Dad keeps the traditional methods for when digital won't work. But my generation, we're artists. We don't just destroy careers, we destroy souls." Agent Coleman's voice in her earpiece. "We've got enough. Ask about the network." "Who else knows, I mean? This seems too big for just two people." Derek stepped forward. "We've got contractors, kids at other schools who gather intel, a guy in the Philippines who helps with video editing when we're backed up, even a lawyer on retainer in case things get messy." "Derek," Tyler snapped. "What? She's already here, already broken. What's she gonna do?" Madison pulled out the cash. "Here's the 5,000. What about the rest?" Tyler took the money, not bothering to count it. "Weekly installments, $2,000 until you hit 15. Then we'll discuss ongoing rates for grade maintenance." "Ongoing? You didn't think this was a one-time thing?" Tyler laughed. "You work for me now, Ms. Harper. Every semester. My clients' kids need grades. You'll provide them. Or," he gestured at the screens. Madison nodded, playing broken. "I understand. Good. Now, there's one more thing." Tyler moved to his main workstation. "I need you to log into your school account. We're installing monitoring software. Need to make sure you're not trying anything clever." This was it. The moment Madison had been waiting for. She moved to the keyboard, Tyler hovering over her shoulder. As she typed her credentials, she also entered a command sequence hidden in the normal keystrokes. A backdoor she'd installed weeks ago activated. "What was that?" Derek noticed the screen flicker. "Just the old system lagging," Madison said. "These computers need updating." Tyler was too focused on his victory to notice. "There. Now we see everything you do. Every email. Every grade change. Every." The lights went out. Emergency lighting kicked in, bathing everything in red. Tyler spun around. "What the hell?" Madison stood up, her entire demeanor changing. Gone was the terrified teacher. In her place stood someone Tyler had never met. The hacker, the fighter, the trap. "Tyler Morrison," she said clearly. "You just confessed to running an interstate criminal enterprise involving blackmail, fraud, and violation of federal revenge porn laws. You're wearing a wire." Tyler's face went pale. "Better." Madison pulled out her phone, showing a live stream. "I've been broadcasting to the FBI's Cyber Crimes Division. They've recorded everything. Your confession, your client list, your entire operation." Tyler lunged for his keyboard. "I'll delete everything." "Try it." Madison's voice was calm. "That flickering Derek noticed I just backed up your entire server to federal evidence storage. 7 terabytes of evidence, including every video you've made, every payment received, every victim threatened." Red and blue lights flashed through the windows. Sirens grew louder. "You set me up." Tyler's voice cracked, the 18-year-old boy showing through the criminal facade. "No, you set yourself up the moment you decided to destroy lives for profit." Madison stepped back as the door burst open. "FBI, nobody move." Agents flooded the room. Tyler tried to run, but there was nowhere to go. Derek dropped to his knees, hands already behind his head. He knew it was over. "Tyler Morrison, Derek Chen, you're under arrest for violation of federal statutes, including interstate blackmail, wire fraud, and criminal conspiracy." As they cuffed Tyler, he stared at Madison with pure hatred. "My father will destroy you. You have no idea what you've done." Agent Coleman entered, badge visible. "Your father is being arrested at home as we speak. Obstruction of justice, conspiracy, and about a dozen other charges. Your brother Chase, too. Turns out he's been running a similar operation from his college." The full scope hit Tyler then. This wasn't just about him. The entire Morrison empire was crumbling. Over the next hour, the tech lab transformed into a crime scene. Every computer seized, every cable catalogued. Madison stood with Agent Coleman, watching the forensic team work. 3 months of investigation wouldn't have given us what you got tonight," Coleman said. "That confession was perfect." "He wanted to brag," Madison replied. "Criminals always do. They want someone to appreciate their cleverness." Emma Rodriguez appeared in the doorway, flanked by 2 agents. Behind her, Sarah from Drama Club, Jade from volleyball, and 6 other victims. They'd been gathered to give statements. Emma ran to Madison, hugging her tight. "You did it! You actually did it!" "We did it," Madison corrected. "Your courage to speak up started this." The principal's office was in chaos when they arrived. Principal Morrison sat in handcuffs, while agents boxed up years of files. The evidence of cover-ups went back a decade. Every teacher forced out, every complaint buried, every victim silenced. All documented in his private files. "Ms. Harper," Principal Morrison said as she passed, "I hope you're satisfied. You've destroyed a legacy." Madison stopped, turning to face him. "No, I ended a cycle of abuse. Your legacy was destroying good teachers and innocent students. That ends tonight." The news broke before midnight. Lincoln High deepfake ring exposed dominated every headline. Social media exploded with victims from multiple schools coming forward. Tyler's client list led to arrests in 12 states. The scope was staggering. Madison found herself in the eye of the storm. Interview requests, book deals, speaking engagements. She turned them all down. She had a job to do. 3 weeks later, she stood before Congress, testifying about the need for stronger deepfake legislation. Emma sat in the gallery, along with dozens of other survivors. Their presence gave Madison strength. "These aren't just pranks," she told the assembled representatives. "These are weapons designed to destroy lives. My students deserved better. All students deserve better." The Defiance Act. Digital Electronic Fraud and Image Abuse National Crime Enforcement. Passed unanimously. Tyler Morrison became the first minor prosecuted under the new law. His trial made national news. The prosecution presented Madison's evidence, the victim testimonies, the financial records showing a $250,000 criminal enterprise. Tyler's lawyer tried to paint him as a misguided genius, a child who didn't understand consequences. The jury didn't buy it. 5 years federal prison. Derek got 3 years and supervised release. Chase Morrison, 7 years. Principal Morrison, 10 years for the cover-up and obstruction. But the real victory came in smaller moments. Emma Rodriguez returned to school, her grades recovering. She started a digital safety club, teaching other students how to protect themselves online. Sarah auditioned for the spring musical and got the lead. Jade's volleyball team made states. Madison returned to her classroom. But everything had changed. Her students looked at her differently now. Not just as a teacher, but as someone who had fought for them, who had risked everything to protect them. She redesigned her curriculum, adding digital ethics alongside calculus, real-world applications of math and cryptography, privacy, and security. Her classes were packed. Students genuinely engaged. One morning, 6 months after the arrests, Madison found a package on her desk. Inside, a plaque from MIT's Alumni Association. Excellence in Ethics and Technology Education, awarded to Madison Harper. With a personal note from Dr. Nathan Cross, "You found a way to make a difference after all." Next to it, a framed photo from her students, all of them, even the ones who had barely spoken in class before. Gathered around her desk with a handmade banner, "Thank you for teaching us to fight back." Madison hung both on her wall, right next to her teaching certificate. But the item that meant the most sat on her desk. A simple card from Emma Rodriguez. "You saved my life. Now I want to be a teacher too, someone who stands up for students." The tech lab had been completely renovated. Tyler's digital empire replaced with positive creation. Students learned ethical hacking, digital art, and responsible content creation. Where darkness had lived, light now flourished. Madison often worked late, grading papers and preparing lessons. Sometimes she'd remember that night, the fear, the anger, the moment when everything could have gone wrong. But then she'd look at her students' work, see their growth, their confidence, their refusal to be victims. She kept one reminder of the whole ordeal, a printout of Tyler's first threat email, framed with a simple caption, "They thought my kindness was weakness. They forgot. I'm a teacher. We never stop learning." The Morrison house stood empty now, for sale sign weathering in the Colorado wind. The dynasty had fallen. But Lincoln High School thrived, no longer under the shadow of fear and corruption. Madison Harper continued teaching, her advanced mathematics classes now legendary for their real-world applications and ethical discussions. Every semester brought new students, new challenges, new opportunities to make a difference. She had chosen teaching over a 6-figure tech job, looking at her students, seeing Emma mentor younger victims, watching the culture of the school transform from fear to empowerment. She knew she'd made the right choice. The internet, Tyler had said, never forgets. He was right. But what it remembered wasn't the deep-fake videos he'd created. Those had been scrubbed, deleted, erased by court order. What it remembered was the teacher who fought back, the students who found their voices, and the moment when a bully learned that sometimes, the smartest person in the room isn't the one with the most power. It's the one who remembers why they're there in the first place. To teach, to protect, to make a difference. Madison Harper had done all three. The following school year brought unexpected challenges. Madison noticed her enrollment numbers had doubled, with students specifically requesting her classes. Parents who had once questioned her now sang her praises at PTA meetings. But with attention came scrutiny. "Miss Harper." A new student named Alex approached after class one October afternoon. "My sister goes to Roosevelt High. They're having problems like we did, Someone's making videos of the cheerleading team. Madison's heart sank. She'd hoped Tyler's arrest would end it, but copycats were inevitable. Tell your sister to document everything and report it immediately. She's scared. The principal there doesn't believe her. That evening, Madison made a decision. She couldn't fight every battle, but she could teach others how to fight their own. She started developing a comprehensive digital safety curriculum, not just for Lincoln High, but for any school that wanted it. Working with Agent Coleman, who had become a close friend, Madison created Project Shield, free workshops for students, parents, and teachers about recognizing and combating digital harassment. Emma Rodriguez became her first assistant instructor. Remember, Emma told a room full of anxious parents at their third workshop, your kids aren't sharing their struggles because they're ashamed. They think they're alone. Show them they're not. The workshops expanded. What started in Lincoln High's library grew to fill auditoriums across the state. Madison's digital self-defense guide was downloaded over 1 million times in the first month. One evening, while preparing materials for a conference presentation, Madison received an unexpected visitor. Derek Chen stood in her classroom doorway, recently released on supervised parole. I know I'm probably the last person you want to see, he began, fidgeting with a worn notebook. Madison studied him. Prison had aged him, but something else had changed too. The arrogance was gone. What do you want? Derek? To apologize? And to help, if you will let me. He opened the notebook, revealing pages of code. I've been working on something, a detection algorithm that can identify deepfakes in real time. It's based on your MIT thesis, but expanded. I want to give it to Project Shield. Madison examined the code. It was brilliant, building on her work in ways she hadn't considered. Why? Because I helped create the weapon. Maybe I can help build the shield. Derek's voice cracked. I was good at destroying things. Maybe I can be good at protecting them, too. After extensive discussion with Coleman and the parole board, Derek joined Project Shield as a technical consultant. His insider knowledge of deepfake creation made him invaluable in developing countermeasures. Former victims were skeptical at first, but his genuine remorse and tireless work gradually earned a measure of redemption. Tyler Morrison served his full sentence. No early release. The deepfake empire he'd built was gone, replaced by an army of educated defenders. And Madison Harper. She kept teaching, kept fighting, kept proving that sometimes the most powerful response to darkness isn't just lighting a candle, it's teaching others how to carry the fire.